Throughout all of history, there have been groups discriminated against. In the 60s, that was changing. Minorities were making progressive changes, and the way the country saw liberties was changing. One set of minorities, however, did not seem to be coming to the open. The year is 1969, New York City. Changes once thought impossible were happening every day. The first men landed on the moon. The civil rights movement was afoot, and 6 years after the historic I Have a Dream speech, the Stonewall Riots would take place. During the Stonewall Uprising, the LGBT community took a stand against homophobia and discrimination. This would bring awareness to the issues and help to unite the country to fight discrimination. In a society where being gay was considered illegitimate, gays feared expressing themselves and were discriminated against daily. The LGBT community was very isolated to certain areas, and the people in it were separated. As minorities and others who were being discriminated against were taking huge steps towards freedom and civil rights, the gay community was lackluster as ever. In the 60s, gay people feared to express themselves for many reasons. One was that, as children, it was ingrained into them by society that being gay was dangerous. Here we see a short lecture given to children to stop them from being gay.
There may be some in this auditorium. There may be some here today that will be homosexual in the future. There are a lot of kids here. There may be some girls that'll turn lesbian. We don't know. But it's serious. Don't kid yourselves about it. They can be anywhere. They can be judges, lawyers. We ought to know we've arrested all of them. So if any one of you have let yourself become involved with an adult homosexual or with another boy, and you're doing this on a regular basis, you better stop quick. Because 1 out of 3 of you will turn queer. And if we catch you involved with a homosexual, your parents are going to know about it first. And you will be caught. Don't think you won't be caught. Because this is one thing you cannot get away with. This is one thing that if you don't get caught by us, you'll be caught by yourself. And the rest of your life will be a living hell.
The Stonewall Riots, commonly referred to as the Stonewall Uprising, were a series of events that began at the Stonewall Inn, Greenwich Village, New York, and spread to all of New York. The New York police were doing routine raids on gay bars. It was illegal to serve gays alcohol or let them dance together. Customers without ID or those dressed in full drag were arrested. Women who were not wearing at least 3 pieces of feminine clothing were arrested as well. On one Friday night, instead of going along with the usual routine, the patrons refused and started harassing the police. Over the following days, continued confrontations between police and citizens brought focus to gay rights on a national scale.
On Friday night, June 27, 1969, the New York police force pulled off its biggest raid ever on the Stonewall Inn.
The initial night was followed by many nights of civil disobedience and unrest. This period of multiple days is commonly referred to as the Stonewall Uprising or the Stonewall Riots. The gay community took a stand for freedom from oppression as they were being treated subhumanly. When the Stonewall Uprising happened, it brought people together and made people realize they were not alone. The Stonewall Riots triggered a massive revolution for the gay community, and in just a short while, the community was brought to light as people and not as monsters. Immediately after the Stonewall Riots, the Gay Liberation Front formed, a militant organization that was violent and not everybody listened to because some found them too overtly aggressive and not focused on what they thought mattered. Shortly after the Gay Liberation Front formed, the Gay Activists Alliance, or the GAA, was formed in response to the chaotic nature of the Gay Liberation Front, as many of the GAA found the Gay Liberation Front couldn't hold order. Jerry Hughes elaborates on his experience right after the riots.
1 year, we went from a bunch of hidden people who fought back one night in the dark to thousands of people marching in the sunlight into Central Park as proud, openly gay and lesbian people. When I die, that'll be one of the things I'm going to remember most.
Within the first year of Stonewall, LGBT organizations were appearing in many major cities throughout all of the United States, and LGBT groups were seeing large strides in other countries around the globe as well. The following graphic is of the key events in LGBT history that have been allowed to take place by the actions of Stonewall. Still, to this day, many laws inhibit people of the LGBT community from many regular activities, such as in some states, private business owners may not serve a person based on their sexuality. The Stonewall Riots fought in the past to help the future, and they have paved the way for the community to join together. In just 2015, gay marriage was legalized in all 50 states, a law that would be impossible without Stonewall. In conclusion, the Stonewall Riots had an everlasting impact for the LGBT community that will be forever unrivaled. Everything in culture has been impacted by Stonewall, from art to music to television to politics, and even now we can look back to see that no matter what happens, equality always wins.
Makes them think they have the right to say what God considers vice. What makes them think they have the right to keep us out of paradise? They make our lives hell here on earth, poisoning us with guilt and shame.